You really love cooked chicken, but you haven't got enough room to make the larger chicken farms that some people make that I made for you. So you want a small one. Don't you panic. I've got a great solution for you right here. Doesn't use much resource and has a really tiny footprint. Don't you go anywhere. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and good night, depending on what time you're watching this next episode in my farm tutorial series with me, Avomance. And you can see in the background, this is an updated chicken farm. This one is completely automatic. This one doesn't need you to press a button to make it kill the chickens. This one's going to do it all on its own. It's really simple, and it's just a little update from the last one, but I think you're going to like it because it's kind of a micro, in inverted commas, version, but you can scale it up or make it even smaller if you wanted to. That is why it's so clever. Don't you go anywhere, because we are about to make it together. The things you are going to need for this build are 2 chests, 6 hoppers, 1 button. I've got a wooden button, but it could be a stone button. It doesn't really matter. 2 dispensers, 30 structural blocks that do not burn. That do not burn is really important. I've got cobblestone because it's dead easy and cheap to find. Water bucket, just 1. 5 ladders, 11 blocks of glass, 2 slabs. Again, cobblestone slabs are good because they're nice and cheap. 1 bucket of lava, 1 redstone comparator, 2 redstone repeaters, and 3 bits of redstone. That is all you require to make this building. A little bit of seed might help you, maybe a little bit of seed, and you might want some extra blocks just to use as scaffolding or temporary blocks. That's entirely up to you. And let's get on with it, shall we? I'm looking forward to this one. First up, grab yourself a dispenser. Now make sure it's pointing in whatever direction it is you want it to be pointing in. This is going to be the front of it right here. So there we go, 1 dispenser there. Then we're going to cut 1, 2, 3, 4 out of the front of it. Inside that we are going to put something, but we're going to do that in a minute. Then we're going to come up and we're going to get a hopper. And we're going to stick 1 hopper pointing into that dispenser. Then we're going to come behind the dispenser. We're going to put 1 hopper going into the other hopper. And then to the side of the dispenser and put a hopper going into each of those. So all hoppers lead to this, which means that is led into there. Then we got to build the structure. Now, you don't have to have done 4. You could do 2. You could even do 1. If you wanted to, you could do 9 or 16. It's completely up to you. You can do whatever shape it is you want. But whatever you do, you need to build a structure around it. Now, you don't have to have a structure on all the sides. I'm in creative, so I can just delete the blocks dead easy. It's completely up to you how you do this. But these blocks need to be blocks that will not burn. Don't use wool. Don't use wood. That would be foolish. And then we need to come and get all the way around the front. And then the back, so this is the back here, we're going to get a dispenser. Second dispenser. No, that's a hopper. We're going to get a dispenser. That's going to go there. It's a bad day already, isn't it? I can tell. And we're going to come around there, there. Oop, not there, there and there. And also 1 on top of the dispenser and 1 next to it. Like that. So we've got a ring that is, so we're 3 deep. You can see we're 3 deep. On top of that one above the dispenser, there, we're going to put a button. I'm using a wooden button because you can just see it far better against that cobblestone than you could with a stone button. Absolutely no reason other than that. That's not because of the pulse timer. It's not because I've got a wood fetish. It's simply because you can see it better against the cobblestone. Then in here, you are going to stick 1 bucket of water, and you can see now when we press that button, it dispenses the bucket of water, and press it again and it pushes it down. And I'll tell you why that's important in a minute. What we're going to do first is we've got to be able to reach the top of this system. Now I've found the best way to do that is a set of steps. So if I get cobblestone there and there, that's going to give us a tower up there that is 5 high, which means I need to get 5 steps. I've only got 3, so let's get 2 more. 5 steps there, and I can put 5 steps, if I actually put it into my inventory. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can come along, doobie-doo, go up my ladder, up to the top, and there we are. I'm at the top of my system, and I can stand here. Then I'm going to get some glass. I'm going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 bits of glass. These are optional, which is why I haven't included them in the inventory. I find them useful, but they are optional. Now, they're optional because you can sometimes get baby chicken escape on these levels. Ever so occasionally you can. Generally speaking, they just fall back in again. But if you're a little bit anal and you're a little bit of an OCD, you can put these in, and that is that, which means that you don't need 11 glass anymore. You now need 17, and it's completely up to you as to whether or not you do that, and that is great. Then you've got to get some chickens in. Now, I'm not going to tell you how to drag chickens up here. You can drag them along using a little bit of seed. You need 2. Get 2 chickens and lob them into this pit of despair, and then start to breed them. Now, I don't need to do that because I'm in creative and I'm going to use chicken eggs. So I'm going to lob a load of chickens in here. Now, be careful because the mob cap will do something with this. You get cramming problems with these chickens, and if you get more than 25 chickens in the same space, they get cramming issues. Now, the reason I've got 4 is because then you can get 100 chickens in here. 100 chickens is a lot of chickens. Each chicken produces an egg. Between 5 and 10 minutes out of its chicken bum, you get a chicken egg. So if you've got 100 chickens, that's 100 chickens spurting an egg out of their bum every 5 to 10 minutes, which means you get a really good rate. You can see I've got some chickens dying there already because I've gone over that capacity. Bit too much, unfortunately, but that's fine. So you can breed them up, shove the water in, up they're popping, look, they're loving that, and you can just breed them up. I've got some seeds here that all of a sudden they're going to love me. Hello, chicken love, poultry loving. That is what you want. And then when you've done enough, press the button again and down they go, and they cannot escape. So simple. Brilliant. So now we just have to work out the system at the bottom. So come down your ladder like that, or you could just fall. And the bottom system now requires a couple of chests. So let's get, now I'm going to need the hoppers as well. We need 2 chests, 1 there and 1 there. Then let's get a couple of hoppers. Remember to shift click and get those hoppers pushing into that system there. And once that's there, we can then start to build up around it. So this is where the other glass comes into play. We're going to get 1 glass there, 1 glass there, 1 glass there, and 1 glass there. Then before you do anything else, you need to get 2 slabs. Now the reason you're using slabs is because they're half a block high in terms of their perceived height. They occupy the entire block, but they're only half a block high. A baby chicken is less than half a block high. It is 0.35 blocks high, which means anything baby chicken wise that comes on here is going to be sat underneath the block above it. It's not going to hit it. Now a full chicken is 0.75, I think, or 0.78 blocks high. That means that its head is going to be sticking over the top of that block, which is dangerous because on the top of that block we're going to put some lava, and that is going to cook that chicken up real good and get us some cooked chicken. So we're just going to put those bits of glass around there to kind of cover around it, and you'll see that the hopper forms the other half of that wall. Let's get ourselves, where's me lava? There's me lava. Right, if I stick a bucket of lava there, you'll notice that it doesn't drop past that block. That's because this half slab is actually occupying theoretically the whole of the block, so the lava can't occupy the same block. That means there is a 0.5 block gap there that baby chickens sit in. They might feel a little bit warm and they might look up and wonder what that red stuff is, but ultimately they ain't going to get burnt by it. You then just want to use your last bit of glass to cap it off. You can see it poking through. You can't get out. I'm sorry, you can poke your head through, but you can't get out. And that closes the system very nicely. Thank you very much. So the only thing we've got left to do is to create a clock. Now this clock needs to work on this dispenser here and basically identify when the dispenser has got stuff in it. So we need to do a fairly classic clock. So we've created just a little comparator clock here coming out of this dropper. Now you might want to do this, little word of caution, before you put the hoppers on. It's completely up to you. You can do it without the hoppers there, with the hoppers there, but it is actually easier to do it without hoppers. It's a bit less fiddly. Completely up to you. You choose. But get yourself a comparator running out of that dispenser. Put it into subtract mode and then run it into a block that is conductive. Out of that block, you want a repeater set to 1 tick that runs into a single block. Now, out of that block, we get a bit of redstone. We run that back into the comparator. That is going to give a signal that is just slightly less strong than the previous one, which is going to create a loop. You're going to get it going round and round and round because it's going to think the comparator needs to compare what goes into the side of it with what comes out of the back of it. What comes out the back is ever so slightly stronger, therefore the signal is continually pulsed. It's a bit more complicated than that, but believe me, it's just how it works, and you get a 1 tick pulse. You also shove that same pulse into the back of this repeater, which goes into the dispenser, and that tells the dispenser to spit out whatever it's got in its tummy because it's not good for it. So that tells that something's in it. It then comes around and tells it to spit it out. It's quite an easy system. I've used it an awful lot, and if you don't get how to build it from that, look at one of my other tutorials and I go into a lot more detail. It is dead easy. Now all we have to do is wait for these chickens to start shooting eggs out of their bums. Every 8 eggs theoretically should produce a baby chicken. 7 out of 8 eggs, statistically you will find you'll get no baby chicken at all, because unfortunately they just smash. If you lob an egg, quite often it smashes, and it's exactly the same with this. So 1 in every 8 eggs sorts it out. So we're just going to wait for some baby chicks to come along. So we've now got just a few baby chickens sat inside, and you can see, whilst it looks like they've got their heads in that lava, they haven't. They are underneath the lava, which means they are not in fear of their lives as a result of melty rock, which is what lava is. But when they grow up, they're going to have a bit of headache because they are going to pop themselves into the lava and cook themselves alive, which sounds just awful, but it's the way it works. You can see more eggs are popping in, so they are going to become more chickens, and we just need to wait until these chickens grow up, which takes a little while, so I'll be back when we get a little bit of a harvest. So we've been sat for just a little while waiting for some of these chickens to grow, and some of them have, and they've died a fiery death as a result. And occasionally, also, you need to understand that you're going to get some deaths in the top too, which means you also get raw chicken, which is a bit of a shame, but feathers. You also get a few feathers out of this thing. And the reason for that is these chickens at the top are stupid. They are so stupid that they think they can just roll around and stand on top of each other. But of course, when you get too many standing on top of each other, they die as a result of entity cramming, and they don't even know why. So that means that they drop their feathers, and their raw chicken straight out goes into the dispenser and into the chest. So there's no wastage. And then when you've decided that actually my chickens are running out, you just go back up to the top and you feed them a little bit more, and you breed them a little bit more, and you end up with baby chickens that grow into big chickens that also have eggs falling out of their bums, and you get more baby chickens that then die a horrible flamey death. It sounds horrible, doesn't it? But, well, it is horrible, frankly, but you get lovely cooked chicken, and that is what matters. What also matters is the fact that this looks horrible. You could leave it like that, but I don't do things like that. I am going to make this look just a little bit nicer. In fact, I'm going to make it look like this, because I can't stand it when things look just a little bit too, well, I don't know, rubbish, not properly finished off. So we've made a really simple structure around this just to keep it looking half decent. We've got our access at the back there. We've got just some fairly plain walls, and at the front we've got a nice glass fascia telling us that we're going to be collecting feathers and cooked chickens for as long as we can possibly muster in this. Look, there goes another one. Brilliant. So what have we got in the case now? So we've now got 36 cooked chickens, 32 feathers and 22 raw chickens. Not too bad. Very happy about that. There goes another one. Absolutely superb. That is a chicken farm if ever I saw one, and I think that's better than the last one I did. And there you have it, one smaller chicken farm from the one I did before, without you having to do anything. Completely automatic. Absolutely brilliant. So this is in response to you guys having comments in the comment section below the video saying, can you just do this? Can you just do that? as a result of that on the last chicken farm, I've created this chicken farm. So you guys are driving this series. If you are enjoying this farm series, please do let me know by slapping that like button. It will be great to know that you're enjoying it. It really, really helps for me to motivate myself to get more of these farming videos. Maybe you've got some ideas as to what farming videos you'd like. I've got all sorts coming. We've not even started to run out of ideas yet, which is brilliant. Also, if you haven't done it already, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because then you can be in the sub club, which is a very exclusive club, and you are invited. And I look forward to seeing you in another video. You take it easy now. Bye.